Miltyverse launching in 3, 2, 1.
Captain's Lock, Star Date, Tuesday, August the 5th, 2025, to 11:29 p.m. I think that's 22:29. I don't know. I don't speak military time, but I am trying to make sure that this new setup works and everything. So if you happen to check this out, tell me what you think, but also going to just talk a little bit and ramble because I like to do that and I'm having a good time doing that lately. So if you want to hear something cool, stick around because I might tell something cool. Yeah, I'm just hanging out lately with a lot of cool people, meeting some new people, getting to know some people that are into different things that I've always been interested in, like comedy. Been listening to a lot of comedians lately and been talking to a lot of comedians lately. Hopefully you're tuning in and enjoying those episodes because some of them are very different than you might think they'd be, because like when you think of someone talking to a comic, you think, oh man, they're going to talk to this person that's funny and this whole episode's just going to be jokes and stuff. But like a lot of them don't turn out to be that way, but rather we get into some interesting topics and things to talk about because they have very cool interests. And then sometimes we do have some goofy people on here that are just fun to hang out with, fun to be stupid with. And we like to keep you guessing at Milty's World. It's what I like to do. I say we because I feel like all of my friends that are supporting this and being a part of it are like also growing into this universe with me, just this whole friendverse I've got going on. And I love art and I love all types of art. I don't just like one thing, or I like expression of the human soul. And sometimes that comes out in funny stuff, and sometimes that comes out in serious stuff, or like when people tell stories, people have heartfelt moments. Beauty can be found in anything. It doesn't have to be written on paper, and it doesn't have to be drawn with a pencil or painted on a canvas. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's a lifetime of experience. So I really do enjoy talking to people from all different walks and artistic backgrounds. You'll see people, actors, directors, producers, musicians, painters. I've had psychologists on the show. I had a psychologist turned comedian on the show. Shout out to Lisa Donsker. Yeah, she's a fun one. She's got a really great sense of humor. And you should check out her stuff on Instagram. It's called Comedy in Session. It's her channel. Highly recommend her. She's funny. Got Michael Marco. He's got a cool movie out called Blind Blood. You should check that out. It's really fun. I'm sure he's got some other things in the works. Obviously, Jonathan Realz he's not only a character in my universe, but he's pretty much existed there for decades now. And I'm never sure which timeline that guy's on, but he's on one of them. And it's always a fun one. It's always interesting. I think the last time there were raptors involved. So definitely check that out. If you haven't checked out the raptors, those are cool or not cool or whatever, who knows. But yeah, I'm just interested in seeing how can I improve the show. I started a Patreon so that people can help support if they want to. If you like enjoy the stories and enjoy the silly stuff that we're doing here, I want to do more shorts, like creative shorts and stuff. And I've got some things coming up in October for everybody to watch, some spooky stuff. And then come Christmas time, I'm thinking about doing some holiday themed episodes where people can talk about traditions that they had growing up around the holidays. Kind of try to learn from some people, some different things, what different people around the US and maybe the world. We'll see how far it goes, just kind of see like what's everybody else like, because I think we're a lot of us are a lot the same. We are pretty much all looking for the same thing in life, right? We're all trying to just get by, survive, have a good time doing it. And I think the consumer stuff that we see, everybody expects you to spend money to have things that make you cool or whatever, but stuff doesn't really make you cool. But we get caught in that trap. All of us do it. Everybody does it, dude. So like that can get you to where like you're jealous of the other person because man, they got some cool stuff and I didn't get that cool stuff. And sometimes we forget that our own personal journey and our planning and what we go through in life, a lot of it's not our fault. A lot of it is. Sometimes we deal with cards that are handed to us, but other times, man, we could really just like make better decisions and get further along. Some of us, it takes longer to figure that out than others. And we find ourselves dug into a hole and we're climbing out of that hole. And sometimes that's very hard to do. Sometimes it's really hard whenever you don't know whenever you're going to have enough money to pay, if you're going to have enough money to pay the mortgage at the end of the month, like where is it going to come from? It'll happen. It'll come out. Everything will be fine. you just have to do your part. Part of having faith in something, having faith that God will take care of you is just knowing that it's going to be okay. No matter what, something good will happen, but you have to do your part. And it's not like, oh, I've got to put this much money into an organization or an offering plate or a thing or whatever to get good karma, or for God to bless me, or for these things to happen for me that are good. Like you don't have to like exchange goods for services with God or whatever, but like doing your part means that you have that faith that it's going to happen. So you have to prep everything. Like, to use the example of Noah's Ark back in the Bible, like he was told that there would be a flood, right? And he had to do his part. He had to put together a boat so that they could float. So like, if you want something to happen, like people call it manifesting and all kinds of other things, and you can call it what you want to call it, but if you want it to happen, you have to build the road to get there. You have to work on it, like you have to really try and do something, and it's going to suck, and it's going to be hard to do, and people are going to like tell you can't do it, and things are just going to be like, hey man, what are you even doing? Like, who do you think you are? What, you can't build a car. You've never built a car before. Well, if you want to, try. If you want to start a YouTube show, start a YouTube show. It's fun. If it's not for you, don't do it. But like, dude, I'm just trying to have a good time here and learn from other people and have, something that I can bring value to the world, connect people with people. Like, I have a gift for noticing when people have talent. And a lot of times I'm like, man, more people should know about that person. That's kind of what I want to do here at Milty's World. I want people to be able to come on the show, and for viewers to be like, if Milty's got them on there, they probably are worth listening to. Their story is probably really cool, or their talent is probably something that I should be paying attention to. Maybe they're super funny, or maybe I would like their movie. Maybe I would like to try that coffee that guy made, or that hot sauce, or whatever it is. Shout out to Billy Blair. He actually has a line of coffee and hot sauce. It's at pomanaf.com. Follow it in the description later. I just want to have something out there so that people can hear my heart, because I am just expressing myself in creative ways, but also trying to bring value to the world. I want people to actually find new artists. Like, back whenever we had MySpace, it might have been marketing. I don't know, but I don't think it originally started out this way. I don't think that the consumerism had reached that level yet in social media. I think social media was pure enough at that time. When a band came out, you were allowed to put music on. So bands would put music on their MySpace page, right? And so then people would find out about them, and they would be like, this nobody, and all of a sudden everybody knows them, because they grew through social media. And eventually MySpace caught on to that, and they made band pages, and they added, like, you could put this many songs on there, you could put a whole album on there, and it became commercialized for sure. In the beginning stages of that, people just found people through that platform, and still, even after that, it was easier to do back then. I'm hoping that with YouTube and all the other socials, I'm just, collaborating with other artists and having a good time, getting to know people, bringing people back on who I feel like, there's something extra special that they have to offer, and I want people to see them and notice them and say, hey, you know what, maybe I should check them out. Maybe instead of scrolling on TikTok for 3 hours looking at 30-second videos all day, maybe I'll spend an hour or 30 minutes or 10 minutes or something and go check out what they've got going on. Maybe I'll go listen to that 30-minute album, or maybe I'll go watch that comedy special for this comedian that I haven't heard of yet, but man, they're really funny. Like, I should be paying attention to them. So basically what I wanted to say is thanks to everybody who's been paying attention to the show. It's been really pushing hard to get this out there. I started Patreon, and I know that that's kind of like whatever, because I'm new and like nobody knows me, and like but somebody followed me on it and supporting me, and that's great, and I thank them. And I'm gonna like do a special, hey, you're my charter member on Patreon, woo, yay, celebration thing. I don't know, I think that'd be fun to do. And sometimes we talk about weird paranormal or like quantum physics or something like that. I'm interested in that. It's just fun to talk about. But also I talk to people about serious things. Like, I had a police officer on who had a pretty tragic story that we talked about, and it's a good episode. I feel like it's important for us to get back to long form content, and yeah, I create some shorts and stuff, but it's really just to try to get people to say, hey, look over here. Kind of like the lady lifting her skirt on the side of the road so that you would pull over, and then it turns out to be not what you thought, and you get robbed or something, like that kind of situation. Only not that, but more like, hey, come look over here, and then you come over here, and then you hear stories about Bigfoot poop, or like, like somebody's telling the story about how they did something they didn't want to have to do in the line of duty, and you might cry a little bit, or you might talk to Jonathan Realz about what's happening in the multiverse or something to that nature. The Raptors have come. I want to have a good time. I want to tell people some fun stories and things. Stories like, for example, like this is kind of the end of the summer. So like right when I was probably 11 years old, I was a Cub Scout, right? Called Weeblos. That's the don't make any jokes about that. We were kids. Just keep it clean. All right. Anyways, but if you do want to make jokes in the comments, I don't care. Whatever. Do what you want. But also watch your mouth. But yeah, so Weeblos. And then I had gotten my neighbor to like come join the Boy Scouts too, because he was my friend. We hung out when he got home from school. I was homeschooled. So we went to the summer camp, and it was real cool. It was really cool. Like I would go back and do it now as an adult if you could, because it was kind of like rugged. Like they had like the platform with like the canvas tents. You didn't stay inside of a cabin or something like that. You didn't have like, like you had to go to the bathhouse to go to the bathroom. When it was dark at night, it was scary. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, oh my God, I cannot do this. I will not tolerate. I will stay inside and pee in a bottle. It was bad. So, I don't even remember. Oh yeah, we had this like one time, like the last night of the camp master came to our bonfire, and like it was freaking huge fire. The Boy Scouts really did some wild stuff. Let's just say that. So he told scary stories, and there's one story I can't even remember all the details, but it had something to do with a will-o'-the-wisp kind of thing. They went like hunting with the hounds. On the way back up to the house, the grandfather's best friend or something like that he had grown up with, he walked him home or whatever, and while they were talking, a will-o'-the-wisp or something, I think that's what he said it was, like comes up and got on the guy's leg and like leaned off to the left, disappeared out of nowhere into thin air, right? And so like I was like, what? And I'm 11 years old, right? I was like, this is insane. And of course it happened somewhere on land close to the place where we were staying, because obviously why wouldn't it, right? And so like I don't know what they were doing, but they had me terrified, right? I cried. I was crying like a little baby girl, and I was like, what in the world is going on at this camp? I'm a kid, and that was terrifying. I don't know why it was so terrifying to me, but it was. And so like camp master's like, I made the story up, it's not even true, blah 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 blah. No, you didn't make it up, and I still don't believe you made it up, but that's another story. And so then we had to go to bed, and like we had these like military cots on, I was on one side, and then my bunkmate was on the other side. We had plenty of rooms. It was like huge rooms in these little tents, man. Like they weren't little tents, they were huge tents. But then friggin' thunderstorm came up that night, right? So it's like lightning cracking and stuff, and like this is back whenever kids watch stuff like The Never Ending Story. When you think of lightning and thunder, you think about that bear thing coming after you, like from that was working with the nothing or whatever, right? You didn't understand that was talking about your imagination and like it going away as you grew up as an adult, and like you're becoming this person that you're supposed to become, and the nothing was the imagination of childhood disappearing, right? You didn't know that back then. You thought that it was like a monster coming after you, right? I'm sitting here laying in this cot and imagining like a bear running up and eating me through the side of the freaking canvas tent, right? I'm freaking out. I am losing my mind, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so I don't do anything, and I lay there until I guess I get so tired that I pass out, right? So like I was Boy Scout camp at one time, and I don't know why I told that story, but it was fun for me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm making friends. I want you to follow these friends of mine and follow me. If you can't do the Patreon, that's cool. I don't expect everybody to be able to do that, and I will, I can't do that for everybody, but if you can, it helps me to pay for the subscriptions and the things that I have to do to keep this going. And if nothing else, just share this video and share my channel, share the videos, watch an episode or two and see if you like it. They're all different. Some of them are funny, some of them are serious, but subscribe to the channel if you like it. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. I don't need, I don't want you to feel obligated, but if you watched this far, maybe you will like my channel. And I hope you do, and I hope that you find something fun about it and it brings joy to your life as much as it brings to me to create it. Have some silly ideas sometimes, and I'm going to incorporate more of those. So I want to have a space where people can have a good time getting to know each other and learning. Thanks for following. Have a good day. Where's the turn off button?